Boys, just got done with my run. We're doing a little cool down walk right now. And man, as I was running, I saw people literally living in camping tents in this little, like, it's a nice little park where I do like running. It's like a nice little field, has gravel. It's like basically a track and field. And man, I saw people living on the sides of those, you know, with garbage bags. And it led me to think, like, why am I so ungrateful? Like, I'm a very grateful person, but often in times I tend to overlook what I view as a necessity and what's a privilege. You know, it's a privilege to eat every day, bro. There's people out there who don't fucking eat every day. You know, there's people out there who still have to go hunt for their food, still have to go fetch their water, and you have it from a tap. You can go to the grocery store. You know, pretty basic stuff, bro. Pretty basic stuff, but we need it to live. And a lot of people don't have that privilege. So imagine, bro. Imagine if you used all the eggs you had in your basket, bro. Imagine if you used all that shit, you locked in, you had all that, you realize how much privilege you have in life, and you just fucking press on the gas. Imagine how far you would go, bro. Because you need to understand that there's people out there wishing to be in your shoes. They're like, every time I'm in the gym, I'm always grateful, bro. I get to see people I talk to, you know, I get to lift some heavy fucking weights. I get to have some fun doing what I love, bro. One of my passions. And it's hard, you know. A lot of people don't want to do it. That's why, like, when you build a nice physique, it's very respectable because you can't buy that shit. You have to put blood, sweat, and tears. You have to put hours. You have to perfect the diet. You have to perfect the training. You have to do everything, bro. But man, just live in gratitude, bro. I started living in gratitude, like real gratitude, probably in 2024, bro. I would write down everything in my journal, you know, 5 things I'm grateful for every day, which is what you should be doing, bro. It's so good. You know, you affirm to the world that you're grateful, and you're grateful for where you are, but you're not complacent. That's the thing a lot of people mix up, bro. They do a whole bunch of this manifestation shit, bro. They're like, damn, you know, I'm so grateful. If I'm so grateful right now, you know, God can give me whatever I want, whatever I desire in my head. But nah, you have to work for that shit, bro. Don't get it twisted. Everything in life comes with a cost, bro. You know, if you dive into bullshit, the cost is your dreams. If you neglect the bullshit and follow your dreams, the cost is the bullshit, you know? The cost is going out to drink with your friends, going out to drink fucking with random fucking people at the bar, you know? Going to do bullshit all day. That's the cost. But what are you willing to sacrifice for your goals, bro? You should be willing to go to the fucking ends meet to get to where you want to be. Because not only is it for you, you should be trying to do it for someone else. You know, everything I do is for my family. Everything I do is for my mom, because she sacrificed her life for me. She had me when I was young. She had me when she was young, bro. I be fucking that shit up every time I say that shit. But man, she had me when she was young. She was young as shit. She sacrificed her high school. She sacrificed everything for me, bro. She sacrificed everything. Her whole 20s, you know. Yeah, she had fun, but she could have lived a better life without having to sacrifice her life in order to put me and my family first, bro. So you gotta return the favor to someone who fucking loves you that much, bro. If you can't do that, you're actually selfish and you're a pussy. Like, I don't care. I don't care what it is. If you can't be working towards something every day in honor of someone, they could be passed away. They could be living today. Someone has sacrificed for you, whether you like it or not. I don't care how bad of blood you have with someone. They probably sacrificed for you, bro. Honestly. So, man, you gotta live in the present, bro. Live in the present. Be who you want to be at the end of the day, because it's your fucking life. It is your life. Nobody else can fucking live that life for you. Nobody else is gonna fucking do anything for you, bro. You need to get out of that victim mindset, bro. Victim mindset, worst mindset I've ever been in. You know, I used to be a pussy. I used to have no mental fortitude. I used to be skinny as shit. But the gym changed everything for me, bro. The gym, reading books, doing actual research, you know, trying to actually better myself in life actually fucking bettered me. And that's what I'm trying to get y'all to see, bro. Live in gratitude. You need to live in gratitude. Attack the day with fucking knives. Attack the day with fucking fists. Attack the day with everything you have, bro. Because at the end of the day, all you have is you. You know, it's so easy to get caught up in all the negative bullshit going on in your life, you know. Me personally, I'm not in the best financial situation. I'm not in the best position I could be in. But that shouldn't fucking stop you from wanting to be one of the greatest in the world. You know, you should always, always, always have big aspirations. In life, bro, in life, you gotta be setting goals every 6 months, bro. If you're not constantly progressing in life, it's over. If you're not doing the same shit every day, it's over. You know, if you're not doing the same shit every day, but fucking revising it every 3 months, every 3 to 6 months, you're cooked. You know, you need to be in the feedback loop. You need to be constantly getting feedback from what you're doing every single day. Every single day you should be getting feedback. Every single week at least. You know, for example, if you're going to the gym, you're tracking your diet, you're going to the gym, you're lifting hard, you're doing everything right, you should be seeing feedback from that. You shouldn't be staying the same, right? You shouldn't be staying the same. If you're trying to grow a business, if you're doing this amount of inputs, this amount of fucking, you know, let's say, for example, service-based business, you're doing outreach, you're doing cold outreach, you know, you track everything, you track the metrics, you track, oh, how many people pick up the phone, how many people, you know, how many people answered my email, shit like that. And you should be trying to revise the methods of which you have to do to see a conversion in life. You know, if you're cutting weight, if you're bulking up, it doesn't matter what you're doing. If you're growing a business, you should be seeing constant feedback in your life, or else you're not progressing, you're just regressing. Which is one of the big things, bro. It's one of the biggest, if not the biggest things in life that's going to take you forward into that next realm, into that next person you want to be. You know, the person you see in your head. I always talk about this in my videos, bro. You have a figure, you have someone you desire to be in your head, you know, whenever you go to bed, you know, even if you're just daydreaming, you have someone in mind who you want to be. And you don't want God to give that to you. You don't want nobody to just hand that shit to you. You want to fucking work for that shit, because then that's when you will have the value. That's when you will actually see the value in that person because of all the shit you went through. You know, that's why a physique, that's why a good body is actually valued, because you can't just be given that shit. You can be given money, you know, you can be given all the fucking material, fucking superficial shit in the world, but you cannot, unless you're like top tier genetics and you never train, sure, bro, sure. So if you want to actually tune into that person, bro, tune in to that fucking frequency of that person you are, you got to do what he does. You got to wake up every day, you know. What is future Keegan gonna do? What is future myself gonna do? Okay, he's not gonna fucking spank his meat to some fucking pixels on his screen when he wakes up or when he goes to bed. He's gonna go for a run. He's gonna go to the gym. It's replacing these fucking shitty habits that are draining your energy and, you know, wasting your life force on simple fucking shit. You know, the simplest shit, bro. Going for a run, you know, going to the gym. It's gonna get you in a good mood. It's gonna get your fucking heart, your blood flowing, bro. Everything good. You know, you're in a better fucking mind. You know, even with diet, you're putting bullshit in your body all day. What do you expect is gonna happen, bro? You know, however you fuel yourself is literally how you're gonna act. You know, if you down a bunch of carbs right in the morning, you're gonna have fucking brain fog. You're gonna not want to do shit. You're just gonna fucking drift through the day. Maybe play some video games, you know, beat your shit, do some bullshit. Like, I'm telling you this because I did it, bro. I used to do this shit. I lived a life. Don't want to do that shit no more. Never will want to do that shit. And you shouldn't want to do it either, bro. You should want to fucking be grateful, you know, realize your privilege, and actually want to do something and better your life every single day, right? So, man, if y'all took any fucking value from this video, bro, go ahead and subscribe. It's Keegan Harrison. I hope y'all enjoyed this video, man. And y'all have a fucking blessed day.